What is up, guys? Sean McDonald here from CrazyGamer.com, and today we are reviewing the 2004 PC Game of the Year, Rome Total War. Even though it's been 9 years since UK-based Creative Assembly released it, the game is still widely played and considered the game studio's RTS masterpiece, and retains a loyal fanbase in spite of newer releases, such as Shogun 2 and the recently released Rome 2. So before we jump in, some people who are watching this who are not familiar with gaming may ask, what kind of game is this, and what does RTS stand for? RTS stands for Real-Time Strategy. This genre places you in third-person omnipotent view, from which you construct buildings, order units around, and several other miscellaneous functions. Think of it as a virtual version of chess or Risk, except here you can have an army of queens, and the fate of your forces does not come down to a roll of the dice. Rome Total War's Imperial campaign, the heart of the game, places you in the time period of Rome's rise to dominance in the Mediterranean, beginning in 270 BC and ending in 14 AD. Initially you play as one of three Roman families. The Julii in the north pits you against barbarian factions, like Gaul and Britannia. The Bruttii in southern Italy will have you conquering Greece and the remnants of Alexander's empire, and the Scipii in central Italy and northern Sicily pit you against Carthage, Rome's arch-nemesis. As one of these factions, your ultimate goal is to trigger the Civil War, which will have you turn against the Senate and the other Roman families, marking the end of the Republic and the beginning of the Empire. When you destroy a faction during the campaign map, you'll be able to unlock them for future play in the campaign menu, opening the door for a whole new take on the game. Unlockable factions range from Gaul and the Britons to the north, to Carthage, Greece, and even Egypt. This is where Creative Assembly's ingenuity first shines, because each faction provides you a completely unique experience in both the campaign and custom battles. This includes both unit composition and geographic location on the campaign map. The game also shines in its ability to blend two different styles of RTS gameplay seamlessly. First, there's the turn-based campaign map, where you manage your cities, armies, and faction agents. You also review your finances, diplomatic relations, and standing with the Roman Senate and people. Then there's the real-time battle map, where you command your army and strategically command units against your enemy. For its time, Rome Total War's graphics were truly revolutionary, and is still considered a great-looking game. The graphics engine allows you to have thousands of soldiers on the battlefield without sacrificing performance. The game features 3D characters fully rendered in loving detail, everything from different weapon types, armor styles, animals, and artillery pieces. Cities are also well designed, featuring everything from massive temples to the Roman Colosseum. One of my main issues with the layout of the cities is that they are all cookie-cutter copies of one another. This creates monotony when fighting sieges, since it becomes a rinse-lather-repeat cycle and gets boring after a while, particularly in the late game. The sound is also amazing. Creative Assembly's attention to detail is shown when you zoom in on soldiers and can hear the clinking of their armor, the swooshing sound of a moving sword, and even authentic animal sounds. The music is also epic. One moment will be playing your units marching, and then quickly shifts to battle, creating a true sense of how epic and grand battles were during this time period. Rome's gameplay can seem complex to newcomers of the RTS franchise, like I was, but only proves to be a simple-to-work-with interface. As I said earlier, the campaign map will have you manage the administrative duties of your growing empire. A lot of what can happen here seems to only occur if you're one of the Roman factions, including missions from the Senate, which can help or hurt you in the form of new units, money, and senatorial offices, as well as your standing with the Senate and the people of Rome. Each turn in the game lasts 6 months, alternating between summer and winter. This really only affects Northern Europe, as you're obviously not going to see snowflakes if you're in the Eastern Mediterranean. It also acts like a giant chessboard, except you're not limited by squares, but rather by movement points. Although I applaud Creative Assembly for extending the gameplay, as well as adding additional tactical considerations for the player, I did find it quite odd that the amount of armies and other characters can move does not accurately reflect this. I'm fairly certain it would not take a year to march from one end of Italy to the other. Another issue I have with the campaign map, rather the game in general, is that the game AI makes strange decisions with no logic behind it. For example, a faction I made an alliance with promptly attacks me 7 turns later. This annoyed me to the point of no longer making alliances, as they never come to aid me in the first place. Additionally, there's no way of knowing what a faction interests are when conducting diplomacy with them. This makes negotiations frustrating as well as next to useless. Another unique feature of the campaign map is the terrain you attack another army on is reflected on the battle map. For example, if you have an army positioned on a bridge and are attacked, you actually fight on opposite sides of the bridge. This forces players to think strategically about where to attack enemies and from what direction. The battle map is where the true action of Rome happens. Each of your armies can have up to 20 unit fights, each reflecting a unit consisting of anywhere from 30 to 120 men. Creative Assembly's thorough research into the time period once again shines here in the level of strategic options provided for each unit. Units have special abilities that reflect their real-world counterparts, including the Roman Testudo, Greek phalanxes, and even barbarians
The enemy general flees!
war crime.
Press forward so that the spirit
Game
of his
camera allows
army
you to
is a
zoom in close on
broken
the
tool!
action, watching up to 10,000 soldiers battle for their survival.
The gods be
The variety of
praised!
units
The enemy
you can
general
use
is
adds a whole
dead!
new
His
other layer
men
of
know
game
their
depth
doom
and
approaches!
replayability. From Roman legionaries, fight phalanxes, scythe chariots, and even armored war elephants. Watching elephants charge into people never gets old. Overall, Rome Total War has proven that it can stand the test of time and remains a PC gaming classic, beating the face of games with Wi-Fi graphics and expanded detail. Despite minor flaws and a bipolar AI, it continues to be played by loyal fans like myself, and will be so most likely for years to come. As a result, I give Rome Total War a 9.5 out of 10.